Pencils? Well, you're probably thinking, wow, that's a lot of pencils. What are you going to build with all those pencils? Well, what we're going to build only needs about half of those pencils. So here's what we're going to build. They're called Hexastix. I'll put some pictures up here for you. Now, what this is it's a bunch of pencils, usually hexagonal pencils because they sit together better, and you kind of just rubber band them, and then you get a little group of them, and you just kind of stab them together until you make something cool. So that's what we're going to do today. Now to build one of these is very simple. All you need is some pencils, some rubber bands, and some, you guessed it, more pencils. So let's just get started. Alrighty, so the first step to building one of these is to get 7 pencils. Oh, first try, let's go. Alright, so we get 7 pencils and we organize it in this little hexagon shape. You can see it's kind of like sides of 2 pencils per side. So we're gonna wrap some rubber bands around there. I'm not wrapping it super tight because, well, you'll see in a second. But some pencils there. Alright, and now we're going to get 4 more pencils, and essentially we're going to be sticking these pencils between these rows. So you can see there's 3 rows. There's a row of 2, a row of 3, a row of 2. So we're going to be sticking pencils between these 2 rows, which will spread them out, and that's why I didn't need to tighten the rubber band. So we're going to put 2 pencils through those 2 rows, 2 pencils through the other 2 rows. Alright, so there you can see it's splitting the rows. Alrighty. So this is the start of the various pencil groupings. So we're going to do 4 more, and we're going to stick these through vertically through this X. And we have 3 out of the 4 groups of pencils. So if I set it like this, kind of stands on its own, we're going to take the last set, stick it straight through the middle here. Can't quite see it. Soon you'll be able to see, you can kind of see some gaps in here where the pencils will go. It's almost like a honeycomb type shape. But once I put the first one through, it should open up and start opening up the holes. Okay. There, now you can kind of see these holes starting to open up. Then again, we rubber band the ends. I need to get some new rubber bands. These ones are old and starting to dry rot. Alright, so there we have the beginnings of our 4 pencil groups. So we have the one where that one got a little messed up. I'm actually gonna fix that real quick just so you can kind of see what's happening here. There we go. So we have one that's already a hexagon, and the way that this works is we're essentially just going to be adding a bigger and bigger layer of pencils until we get to the final layer. And as we go, every time we have a new layer, we're going to take the center pencils out. Otherwise, this build would just take way too many pencils. You can make this build with all the pencils in the center as well. You can keep those there, but like I said, it just takes a lot more pencils. So the first step I'm going to do is I'm going to make these other 3 bunches look like this one. So they're all hexagons. Alright, so there we go. We've got 4 hexagons going here, and you can kind of see the center kind of bunch of pencils is kind of lopsided on here, so I'm gonna just kind of push it into the middle, and that'll help with the spacing later on. It just makes it work a little better. So you want to keep this center group where all the pencils come together in the center of each row. That just helps the structure stay together better. Alright, so the next step is to add the next layer around. So right now all the sides of the hexagon consist of 2 pencils. The next round it'll be 3 pencils to a side. So let's build the next layer. Alright, so this is what the next row will look like. So like I said, it's 3 to a side now instead of 2 to a side. And you can see, like this one over here, it's not held in by anything yet. But as I increase the layers of the other 3 groups, we'll have other pencils holding this one in. I think there's one over here. Yeah, so these are loose right now, but as I build the other groups up, they'll hold together in the end. And just like I said before, I'm going to take out the center row now because it's no longer needed, and then I save on pencils. Alright, so let's keep going. So here's the next level done. Now all the hexagons are 3 to a side. And there's all the last sides. Alright, so we're going to expand this one more time. And then I'll take us to the 72 pencils, and then you'll see once I'm done, but the hexagons will be wide enough that it pretty much takes up the whole pencil. So you can't really go too much bigger after that. So yeah, let's just build this last level up real quick.
Alrighty, there you have it. There's the Hexastix pencil sculpture. Very simple and easy to build. All you need is some pencils, some rubber bands, and some glue. Now for glue, I would recommend using just regular Elmer's glue and some water and kind of pouring it down through the center. It just works a little better. And it's also not quite as potent smelling as Gorilla Glue, but Gorilla Glue is all I had to work with, so I use that. It's very strong, it's definitely not gonna fall apart, but the Gorilla Glue did kind of react with the paint on the pencil a little bit, so it kind of doesn't look quite as pretty as just regular Elmer's glue might. And another thing to consider when you're gluing is if you are using something like Gorilla Glue or something that has a really strong smell, is to either have a window open or glue outside so that you're not breathing in those fumes. So yeah, there you have it. I'll put a link to the pack of pencils I used for this build in the description. It's a pack of 144, so you can build 2 of these with it. And then you can either give one to your friend, just make 2, make 1, and then have some pencils left over to use as pencils, whatever floats your boat. But yeah, I hope you liked it. Be sure to subscribe, and if you want to be notified when a new video comes up, then hit the little bell notification icon. And yeah, other than that, I'll catch you on the flippity flop.